Good morning, friends. I am. Good morning. It is a balmy, smoky Monday morning here in central Indiana and the middle of July. So, the other day I posted a video about my kitchen garden and I wanted to give you an update and show you that gardeners can't just plant good, like new garden places and leave them alone till winter time. So let me show you what I did. Oh, and I also have a new bed in the kitchen garden full of some stuff. So grab your coffee. I haven't had mine yet, but I want to get this work done. Then I'm going to go in and have my coffee before it gets too hot today. Grab your coffee and come along with me as I show you what a lot of hard work can do. The roosters are saying good morning. The first thing I want to show you is this bed. This arbor. Isn't she lovely? She's our entrance into the kitchen garden. But this is the bed that had my lettuce in it. We went ahead and pulled that out. We went ahead and pulled it all out. I amended it and planted a bunch of peppers and some marigolds that I got from a lady at the market a few weeks ago. So, just wanted to kind of show you these are doing good and healthy, and I'm hoping to get some trays of dirt to line around the strawberry bed and start laying all the runners in that dirt. And then in about a month or so, once I notice that the baby plants are big enough, I will cut the mother runner and we'll transplant them. This is where my wood pile was in the last video, and now it is a massive garden. So we have been blessed by some friends with these crates, and I just kept trying to think of the best way to use them. We have some over here that we framed out around these cattle panels. And once we get that all cut back and the rest of these filled, I think I'm going to try and do some pole beans. We still have some time to plant pole beans. In fact, I'm going to try and get some bush beans out today too. I just didn't think I'd be able to get beans in this year with all the other things going on. But I think we're going to fill these. And so I found 63 crates in my stack. We have 9 rows and 7 crates down each row. So I was going to just prepare this for next year and leave it alone and not mess with it. But then I went to market and a friend was selling the rest of her tomato plants, so I got a dozen tomato plants. And then I thought, well, all those strawberries I just showed you need to be thinned out. And I had 2 crates that had strawberries growing in them that I had just stuck somewhere. I can't remember where they were at. So these 2 rows are going to be strawberry plants. So once we get those babies rooted in a couple weeks or a month, we'll transplant them over here. And then I was like, okay, well, I've got tomatoes and I've got strawberries. Let's go look in my seed box and see if there's anything I can start now. It is mid-July, so we have about all of August, all of September, and maybe mid-August or mid-October to plant. So I think I'm pretty much around 70 to 80 days. So actually, if you go into like, I think mid-November, late November, our squashes still last till like the end of November. So even some like 85, 90-day squashes I might try. But yeah, so I have my basket full of a bunch of seeds and my drill and my gloves and my shovel. And I'm going to plant this garden out in the middle of July. The back bed, or the back row, we don't have any mulch in it yet, and we're going to get that done soon. But I think I'm just going to leave that back row because I think it'd be pretty next year to grow like sunflowers or something in it. Or, I don't know, maybe something. Haven't figured it out yet. Who knows, I might end up like throwing some other seeds in there, but since it's kind of right up to the garage and we're going to be working around here to put the new chicken run back here, I thought it might be easier to just fill those and leave those empty, and we're hoping to kind of get that all cleaned up too. So anyway, this is what happens when you give a gardener a new space to garden in, and you don't have to pay much. This did not cost me very much at all. We did buy some straw to lay down the pathways and some plastic just to kind of help, you know, with the sticks that were here and the dirt and stuff and the grass and things. We didn't want the weeds to come back through. But y'all, I had the crates. We had free mulch delivered, and I'm going to show you when I plant my plants that I got some topsoil that's going to go inside my holes where I put all my seeds and all my plants, because you don't want to grow directly in mulch. There's no nutrients there, and mulch dries out super fast. Even though it keeps the moisture in, roots are not meant to grow in mulch. So roots need soil to grab a hold of to grow. So I'm going to put soil in wherever I put my seeds, wherever I put my plants, and get going at this new garden space. Kind of like chicken math, but I call it garden math. Anyway, I will bring you back and show you when I get everything planted. But I just was so excited. Oh yeah, and we're extending the raspberry patch. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when you dig out the wood pile and find all these pieces of like old treated lumber and stuff. You're like, what can I use it for? So, and honestly, we have a bunch of raspberries kind of popping up in the grass there next to the big raspberry patch. So again, free plants. So we're going to get some straw and finish covering that and be able to plug those plants in. So yeah, God is good, isn't He? I mean, sometimes look around your yard, see what you have that you can use as a garden space, crates for raised beds, maybe just lay some plastic down. We like using that for our weed barrier. It has done us very well. We still have to, you know, pull weeds in other places, but yeah. All right, I'm going to get to planting because this lady wants her coffee before it's too hot outside. Okay, so I have planted all that I'm going to put out today. We have our tomato plants over here, and this is pole beans, and so I have T-posts and sticks. I think I'm going to just put two on each end, one on each end, and then two in the middle, and then do a string for the pole beans. And then this, of course, is going to be strawberries. This is going to be strawberries. And then I did a row of bush beans. I'm just going to leave this back row right now empty. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of work over here, putting the other chicken coop in. And that way, if we need to move those things out of the way, we easily could. So I'm going to go ahead and get the sprinkler running. I did bring out some sugar pie pumpkin and acorn squash seeds. So I think what I'm going to do is when we fill these crates along these cattle panels here, I think I'm going to try and grow those there. But what I might do right now, because that might take us about a week or two, depending on how extracted I get, right? This is how life is. We got to get this all cleaned up, make sure I get all the weed pressure off of these cattle panels. But we're going to fill these with mulch. I have to get a couple more bags of topsoil. And as I'm waiting for that, I think I'm going to take my pie pumpkin and my squash seeds inside, and I'm going to actually plant them in little pots of dirt, just like I did in February and March. And I'm going to see if I can get them to germinate inside in the next week or two until I can get these all filled and everything ready for them to go out. I might even just soak some in a paper towel and sprout them and then stick them in a little pot of dirt. I'm only going to grow them in the house for maybe a few weeks. That's my plan anyway. And then I can come out here and transplant them really small, but at least they've germinated, and maybe that'll give them a head start. And not wait until things start getting full and green. The first thing I thought of after I planted was, girl, you need some color out here in this little garden space. That's kind of how I am. Like, I love adding decorations and color and wind chimes to my garden spaces. I feel like it's another room in my home. And so I'm not one of those gardeners who are just like, grow all the food, get it however you want in the ground, and let's just make as much food as possible. I love that idea, and I'm trying to do that. But I also love having my spaces full of beauty I love it to be a place of rest and peace, even amidst the work. I want to enjoy coming out here and working, because y'all, I don't know anybody who enjoys weeding or watering or pruning or all the things that you've got to do when it comes to a garden. So when I make my spaces beautiful and I have flowers and I have wind chimes, or like I figured maybe I should put like a little chair or two with a potted plant, it just makes me feel like I want to be in that space. So I am motivated by beauty and organization. I've realized that, and so not all my spaces are beautiful and organized, and that's when I really need to dig deep and have the Holy Spirit help me get out there and do what I need to do. But I was looking over this and thought, oh, she needs color. So as the months go by and this garden, starts becoming its own personality, I will be able to add things here and there. This space we're hoping to get some more cardboard and mulch, and so with the raspberry patch and this patch here, we'll have a really good pathway, to pull a wagon down or to harvest. So yeah, give me all your garden decoration ideas. I'm thinking like maybe some hummingbird feeders. I don't know. I'll have to like go through my yard. That's what I do sometimes. I go through my yard and I rearrange like I do in the house. I rearrange my decorations in my other gardens and kind of move them over to a new space. But I just think, I know like once the chicken coop's over there and it's, painted red and white and it's pretty, that's going to add a lot of color here and make it seem like, just a sweet little space to be in. So, and then all our hopes and dreams. You ready for this? Where all that junk is, I hope that the Lord gives us the ability one day to build a shed off of that garage. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be fancy, but I feel like that paved area is kind of a wasted space, and since it's already part of our driveway, I think it would be easy to I think it would be nice to just have a shed built that attached to the garage and take up that space, and then, then I can grow all the sunflowers and all the pretty things and not see my trash can. But anyway, that's part of life, right? That's what homestead's all about. You embrace all the things, even your trash cans. So, well, I'm going to turn this hose on. It is supposed to rain this afternoon, but I always like to get my, seeds and my plants good and wet after I get them in the ground, and go see if and then I'm going to head inside and have my cup of coffee and figure out what my next project to do is for the day.